So this week's video is going to be directly tied to last week's video. So I will put a link to last week's video up here in a card, and I will put it down below in the doobly-doo. So pause this video that you're watching right now if you didn't watch last week's video, and go watch last week's video. I'll wait. So here. You can click on one of them. Did you do it? Okay, roll the thing. Hey guys, Sean here. So if you hear a noise that sounds like some sort of weird pounding, that's because the people in the apartment upstairs are apparently just dragging a hammer across the floor or something like that, and just picking it up and dropping it, or I don't fully understand what's going on up there, but I don't want to wait around for them to stop playing their hammer time or whatever they are calling it in order to shoot this video, so I'm just gonna deal with it. So I guess you're gonna have to deal with it too. My apologies. But anyway, as I said, this week's video is kind of a response to last week's video, so that's why I had you watch last week's video, just in case you didn't. Did you do it? I gave you enough time and warning. So click on the, did you do it? I'm not waiting again. So after last week's video, I figured I'd Google the name of the girl that sat next to me for 2 months and I'd been receiving her mail, because if there's only one of her in the US, then it should have been really easy to find her via Google, obviously. And when I did that, I suddenly realized I had misspelled her name when I put it into howmanyofme.com. So in fact, there are 12 people with her name in the US, not just the one. But when I started Googling her name, I started to see some things popping up, and one of the results was a site that searches public records. So I'm like, alright, let's see what happens with this. And so put her name in, and I put in where I live, and just to see what would come up. And so there popped up the name, and then it said known relatives, and one of them was the name of the woman who I still to this day get tons of mail for. So I started to generate a report, as you can on this site, for the girl I used to work with, and then I started generating a report for the woman whose mail I get. So they are in fact related, and it turns out that the woman who I still get mail for to this day is 89 years old, I think, and she lives in Alabama. So I'm just assuming that she was probably the grandmother of the girl that I used to work with. So she at least appears to still be alive and living, just not living here where her mail is showing up. So yeah, they both finished generating the reports, and then it's like, okay, here's a little bit of information, the age, location they might currently be at, and then if you want to pay us, we'll give you the rest. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I got pretty much what I needed out of this, just some sort of clarification that they were in fact related and where this person might currently be, and really if she was still alive. That was really the main thing, was, is she still alive? Because if she isn't, then the fact that I'm still receiving mail is even more frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating enough that apparently over a decade ago she moved to Alabama, or at least out of here, and is still getting mail for her, but it would be even more infuriating if at some point between then and now she had passed away. But she hasn't, so, well, at least according to the public record searches. So yeah, what I'm thinking now is I'm just going to take a Sharpie. This is a VidCon Sharpie that I got at one of the VidCons, because they always give you a Sharpie every year to get autographs, and I'm probably just gonna like put a string on it or something and tape it to the inside of my mailbox, and then when I get the things, I'll just write directly on them, return to sender, this person hasn't lived here for almost a decade. And then you also got to make sure that you cross out the barcodes at the bottom of the letters, because that's how the automated sorting machines sort the letters when you send them to the post office. That's how I've been doing some research about how do you deal with this situation, and that was one of the things that they said is, right, return to sender on it, but make sure that you cross out the barcode at the bottom, because there's a chance that they'll just send it back to you. I actually did do that once. I kind of gathered all the mail for like a month for this person, and then I just went to the post office and dumped it in the outgoing mail, just like here. There's obviously this person doesn't live here if I'm dumping all this. And about 3 days later, it all showed up in my mailbox, because I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense that that would happen. That I'm essentially just mailing this stuff right back to me. So yeah, I gotta let them know. No. This needs to go back to the people that sent it so that they can cross that ledger or something. I don't know. Just stop sending it to me, please. But anyway, that's going to do it for this week's video. So if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help support the crazy crap that goes on around here, go ahead and hit up my Patreon. Link is in the description. And with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.